All right, you ready to shoot a video? No, you're right. You're right. I can't sit in that chair. It's not mine. I don't think anyone knows him in the studio. Kind of how Dallas probably had no idea that they would trade away a 600 goal scorer when they dealt Jarome Iginla for Joe Nieuwendyk. Oh, by the way, that happened. A couple of weeks ago when talking about Nicklas Lidstrom, I discussed how we're reluctant to acknowledge how good someone was too close to when they played. It's almost like we need a little gap to acknowledge their greatness, but let's do that right now with a living legend in the NHL. And no, this is not a video about Jaromir Jagr. I should probably do a video about Jagr at some point, though. I should definitely do it. This is a video about Jarome Iginla, a player so good, so tenacious, a player so amazing that I named my dog after him. You see, I have a golden doodle, and in 2010 when Sidney Crosby scored the gold medal winning goal against the United States, he yelled out Iggy, and my dog is named Iggy. Do you see? Okay. Anyway, Jaromir Jagr this season, and Teemu Selanne, and I don't even know how many seasons before him. It's almost like a farewell tour. Oh my goodness, he's still scoring at 40. Then next year, he's still scoring at 41, 42, 43. We get it, they're old. And it's this rush to appreciate them before they're gone. Jarome Iginla is 38 years old. I know that's not old in the grand scheme of things, but for an NHL player, especially one as good as he is, that's pretty old. I've been comparing Jarome Iginla to Mats Sundin for a very long time because both were traded very early on in their careers. Highly touted prospect. They go to a Canadian team, eventually become a captain with that Canadian team. That team's all-time leading scorer, right-handed shot, and they have at least one run they can look back at and go, boy, we were close. And while Sundin is retired, Iginla still has a shot. But you know what? I'm getting a little tired of my Iginla-Sundin comparison. I think we need to bring him more into the Jagr conversation. Because we've mentioned his age, and he's not just in the NHL. He's not just hanging on. He is a legitimate contributor on the Colorado Avalanche. And the season is young, but he is on pace to score more this season than he did in either of the last two. Once again, he's 38. And he is a part of the prestigious 500 goal club in the NHL. And that, to many people, is the golden ticket. You reach 500 goals, you're getting into the Hockey Hall of Fame. Kind of like 3,000 hits in baseball, you know? It's that cutoff between the really good and the truly great. But you see, what's really amazing is Jarome Iginla is even better than that. 42 players have scored at least 500 goals in their NHL careers. Jarome Iginla is 4 shy of 600. You know how many players have done that? When Iginla reaches 600, he will be just the 19th player in NHL history to hit that mark. He will put himself into a category that less than 20 NHL players have ever been a part of. And once he reaches 600, it will just be Iginla and Jagr as the only active NHL players to hit that mark. You know what? I got to take a break from fawning over him. I'm just going to let his teammates do it.
Yeah, Iggy's a legend. I mean, he's one of the best teammates I've played with. What you see is what you get in his interviews, and he's just a real pro. I like to try to keep him as young as possible. I know he's 38, and he got drafted the year I was born, so bit of an age difference, but we seem to make it work. We're actually pretty good buddies, so it works out well.
Oh, he's great. He and I always sit beside each other at the practice rink and on the road, and we're talking hockey nonstop, and he loves it. I mean, at that age, to see a guy that still loves it as much as he does. And like, we went out yesterday before practice about half hour early and shot pucks for 20 minutes, and we were working on stuff together. And to still see the passion in a guy like that, being through all those games and all those points and all those goals, I can't think of a guy that deserves his success more than him, just because of how much he absolutely just loves the game.
So we've seen what Iginla can do. We see what he is currently doing. It doesn't look like he's even going to slow down. The only question left is, how long is he going to keep going?
I really enjoy it, and it's fun every year and stuff, but with family and stuff, and we have a daughter and 2 boys, and they're into their sports and hockey and stuff, so I don't know how much, you know, I still like to play longer, and I have next year on my deal and stuff, but I remember seeing guys like, you know, Alfredsson, Lidstrom, and, you know, Selanne and stuff that would say, well, it's a year to year, and I'd be like, come on, you know what you're doing, you know if you're going to play, but now I see what they mean, and that it really would be a year-to-year thing, and not sure, but I love it. But it's you know, the family stuff too. You want to make sure I can be there, and so I don't know. Yeah, exactly.
All right, I see what you did there. You made it sound like, you know, your career's kind of wrapping up, and like you're thinking about it a little bit. But I'm going to pretend like that's not what you said. I think you're just playing with me. Stop that. Look, it's really easy to look back on Wayne Gretzky, Bobby Orr, Mario Lemieux, Steve Yzerman, and just talk about how amazing they were. There is a number at the end of their career because they have reached the end of their career. And as far as active players, we love to fawn over Jaromir Jagr. He's been playing for so long. He's still got it. We always talk about the mullet. The guy's like a time capsule, and not to mention, he's 4th all time in NHL scoring. And Jarome Iginla deserves our respect and admiration just as much. He is 37th in all-time NHL scoring right now, but he's not far away from 35th, 30th, 25th, 20th? I mean, it really just depends on how long he wants to continue to play. Not to mention, he's about to join the 600 goal club. He's not just one of the greatest goal scorers of our time. He's one of the greatest goal scorers of all time. And there's really only one picture missing from his photo album. This one. I hope that part of my Sundin comparison gets fixed. So let's not wait until he's in the Hockey Hall of Fame, and he will be in the Hockey Hall of Fame. But even though Jarome Iginla is no longer a Calgary Flame, his fire still burns hot. You know, he's been good since 1995, and I can't even think of a good ending to this video.